So check this out. There's a new form of HIVs. That's right. This is different than the other 3 strains of HIV, which are A, B, and C. They haven't even named this one. Right now, this HIV that was discovered in a woman from Paris, who's moved from Paris to from the African nation of Cameroon, tested positive for HIV in 2004. They discovered that the virus she has isn't one of the HIVs that is known to us. This one is only being called RBF168, and it's derived, like I said, from gorillas. The new gorilla virus has many of the biological properties necessary for human infection. And that's according to the report done on this. It also says that this human case described here does not seem to be an isolated incident, as before coming to Paris, the subject had lived in a semi-urban area of the Yaoundé, the capital of Cameroon, with no reported contact with apes or bush meat. The report goes on to say, this demonstrates that the HIV evolution is an ongoing process. The virus can jump from species to species, from primate to primate, and that includes us. Pathogens have been with us for millions of years and routinely switch host species. Here's what I have to say about it. It's very well known that a majority of the HIV and AIDS virus cases come from select nations in Africa. And if you're gonna put yourself at risk and go to those nations or countries where you can get HIV and eventually AIDS, you should have to stay there. That sounds cruel, but if you're stupid enough to go somewhere where there is a deadly disease that you can spread, you should not be able to come back to different countries, go have sex with people who can 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 have sex with people, and make it wild spread. It's like you can almost go to like 20 different countries in Africa, like almost every country in Africa, and have a high It's actually, when you go to donate blood, it actually says, were you born in these countries in Africa between 1980 and whatever the year was, you know. And if you have even been born in these African countries, you cannot donate blood, because that's how high the risk is that you have HIV or AIDS. Just the fact that you were there or born there. So my question is, why take the risk? Why take the risk? And I mean, how did it get spread so bad from 1980 till now?
Because it's the only disease with a right.
It could have been quarantined at the time when there was only a few cases. But those people said they have the right to live their lives. Those people who said they have the right to live their lives decided to mate with other people, giving them the disease that would kill them and millions of others. Now, from an isolated incident from people who got it in Africa and brought it here in America, or there in Paris, or every other country that has AIDS in the world, now everybody who has that virus has the right to have sex with whoever they want after the fact. I mean, sure, if it's proven that you gave them the virus, you could be prosecuted. How do you punish somebody with AIDS? How could you possibly make somebody suffer more than the AIDS virus makes you suffer? Wouldn't it be better if you just said, look, you've got a deadly disease, like smallpox, like the bubonic plague. We need to keep you separate because other people don't want this disease. Because it's for the better of the human species that you don't go around having sex and making people die. It's like a disease form of terrorism. I've got AIDS. You know?
It's a way to call the human herd.
So, again, these scientists and experts, these particular ones from the University of Manchester, still say that it's chimpanzees and gorillas that still, at the time, right now, carry the AIDS virus. And that it wasn't created in a lab by some conspirators. Because there are some crazy theories out there. You know, there's this crazy theory in a couple of videos saying that in 1980, the government made this disease, and it was requested in this year that they make this disease to kill the homosexuals and drug users and... Right. It was made. That's why it naturally exists in animals that can survive with it. We created something that already existed? No.